Right? This is the last captivity. This is the last chance for you to get it right. After this, guess what? America's going to be destroyed, and when we come back up, we going to be on top.
That's right.
Okay? The Israelites are going to rule again.
Right.
Remember what it said in verse 1? It said if you keep the commandments, that you're going to be the top nation on the earth. But if you break the commandments, I'm going to put you on the bottom. So we broke it. He put us on the bottom, but it's to serve a punishment for breaking them. What happens after you, when you put your kids on punishment, right? What happens when their punishment is up? They go back to normal, right? Now let me show you, hold that real quick. Give me Acts 1 and 6. Now, during the time of Christ, when Christ was actually here, the disciples was asking him the same thing. They basically was asking them, is the punishment over? Watch, because of something that they knew. Watch what this question that they asked Christ. Because at one time we had the kingdom. We was the top nation on the earth. We was collecting taxes from all the other nations. Watch what the apostles asked Christ.
The book of Acts, chapter 1 and verse 6. When they therefore were come together, they asked of him.
So when they all came together, Christ and the disciples, they asked this question to Christ,
saying, Lord, wilt thou at this time restore again the kingdom of Israel?
He said, are you going to restore the kingdom to us right now? But it wasn't the time yet, okay? But the time is coming now. It's very soon. That's why you see all the world going crazy. What you got? It's high time, exactly. It's high time for us to wake up and come out of these Christian churches, come out of celebrating Christmas and birthdays and New Year's and all this pagan stuff all this stuff that we learn here in America is lies, okay? What's the truth is these laws in this Bible, not Christianity, but the laws of God. That's the truth, okay? Let's finish up the curses real quick, and then we're gonna get some of that. Give me what we at, 47?
Yeah. Verse 47, Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 47. Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things.
So because we didn't serve God with joyfulness, he gave us everything. And guess what we did? We still complain. Let me tell you something. If you don't know black folks can complain about anything, then you don't know your people. Okay? You would literally go out, you might, if you ever been married, right? Say you might go out and you try to do something nice for your wife, right? You go out and buy her, say you just buy a pair of shoes. And she say, you should have got these in blue. Why you get them in black? Black people can find anything to complain about. We ain't never satisfied. So even though he gave us everything, we still was murmuring and complaining. Okay? Go ahead.
Therefore, thou shalt serve thine enemies.
So he said, because you didn't want to serve me, I'm going to make you serve your enemies. That's a punishment right there. He said, because you didn't want to serve me, I'm going to make you serve your enemies. So now, instead of us having our own businesses, our own stores, what we got to do? We got to go work for them. Okay? Watch this. It's going to say it. Watch it.
Which the Lord shall send against thee.
So he sent our enemies against us, and now we got to serve them. How?
In hunger.
In hunger. Did you eat this morning, Brother Childs? What'd you have? What'd you have to eat? You had a bagel with a boiled egg. Sound like a good breakfast. Okay, now you're supposed to cook on the Sabbath, but we're gonna talk about that later. Now listen, did you get that egg from your own chicken that you got out in the back? Where'd you get the egg from? Grocery store. Who owned the grocery store? Probably a Jewish man or some other white man. Okay, right? Read that again.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger.
So anytime we want something to eat, guess where we got to get it from? He said we got to serve our enemies in hunger. So when we're hungry, we got to go buy something from the other nations. They own all the stores. We got to serve them. And what else?
And in thirst.
And in thirst. And we want a bottle of water. My brother right there in the blue. What kind of water is that? Is that pure Nestle Pure Life? Great value. That's is that Walmart? Who owned Walmart? So to get something to drink, the brother had to go to Walmart and get the water. So who owns Walmart? It ain't us. You see what I'm saying? So it said when you thirsty, you're gonna have to go to the other nation to get something to drink. When you cut the water on in your faucet, are we in control of the water supply in Baltimore? No, the other nations are. And what you gotta pay? You gotta pay a water bill, right? So if we want some, we like to drink, we like Hennessy, we like, you know, like a glass of wine. When you want that, that ain't coming from us, that's coming from the other nations. So he said, when you want something to eat, you gotta go to them. When you want something to drink, you gotta go to them. Go ahead.
And in nakedness.
And in nakedness. So this is a nice jacket you got on right there. We didn't make that. We didn't manufacture that. We had to go to the other nations to get this. Now we got stuff with our name on it, but guess what? We still had to get this. We still had to get this from them to put our stuff on it. You see what I'm saying? And for the few black people that own a clothing company, guess where they got to get the textiles? Guess where they got to get the materials to put the clothes together? Still got to go to them. So it says no matter what you want to do, you don't have to go to them because you didn't want to serve me. Right. The God. Okay, go ahead.
And in want of all things.
It says, and you're going to have to do that. You got to serve them for everything. I just had to renew my driver's license. Guess who I had to give money to? The other nations. Motor vehicle. We don't own that. Okay, if you want a death certificate, you can't even die for free. Somebody got to go and pay for a death certificate. Somebody got to go pay for a casket. Right. Somebody got to go pay for a burial plot. Right. Okay? It don't matter what we do. We are, right now, we totally in subjection to these other nations. If you want to get education, where you got to go? Who own all these different church buildings? The buildings. I ain't talking about the pastors in the churches, but the actual property, the land, the buildings. They own it. You see what I'm saying? And it's their doctrine also being taught in there. That's why for so many years we thought what? We thought Jesus was a Caucasian. Because that's what they taught us. When the Bible described him looking like that. What? You see what I'm saying? So that's good. That's good. That's good. Now watch what it says about those people that we was going to have to serve for all things. Watch what it called them. Go ahead.
And he,
that mother nations, the mother people, shall do what?
Shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
Look at these pictures right here. You see this? Right. See them things around their neck? See that on his face? Those are yokes of iron. That's what they put. They put them iron collars around us on slavery, in slavery. So it says, the man that's oppressing you, he's gonna put a yoke. Your enemy is gonna put a yoke of iron on your neck. Who did that happen to? Did we ever see Jewish people with yokes of iron on their neck? Never. We never saw that because they're not the true children of Israel. That's why they don't call themselves Israelites. They call themselves Israelis. Israeli means an inhabitant of the land of Israel, but it don't mean Israelite means the men that descend from Israel, the man. You see what I'm saying? Ite means the people of. So Israelite means we're the people of Israel. Okay, there was a man, if you know Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob's name was changed to Israel, and then he had his sons. His sons are the patriarchs or the forefathers of the 12 tribes of Israel. So we descend from them. We are their children. Okay, these are our forefathers. Okay, jump down to 64. Let me ask you this question. Hey, bro, Blue, what's your name, brother? Ali. Okay, Ali and Charles. Let me ask y'all this. What's the two major religions on the earth? Right now, the two biggest religions on the earth. Now, your name Ali. That kind of, to me, sounds like it's a Muslim, right? There you go. So Muslim, is that one of the biggest religions on earth right now? What's the other one? Christianity. Watch what the Bible say. Remember, these are curses. Okay, to identify the Israelites. Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other.
So we was going to be scattered into all nations. Okay, from one end of the earth to the other one. Meaning what? Everybody had slaves. We built up all these different nations. Okay? Absolutely. Well, right now is the gathering, is the regathering of the 12 tribes. Okay, and that's prophesied in the Bible too. Right. We getting close to the end, man. We getting real close to the end. It's time for our people to wake up. It's time. It's like the time's short, man. Like this coronavirus and all this, that's prophecy, man. That's the plagues that he said, the pestilence that he said he's going to send on the earth. Okay, go ahead.
And there thou shalt serve other gods.
So in all those other nations that we will be scattered to, says we're going to have to be made to serve other gods. Go ahead.
Which neither thou nor thy fathers have known.
Now these are new gods, because our forefathers didn't know these gods. Our forefathers knew the one true God that gave us laws, statutes, and commandments. But it says we're going to be scattered, and when we get scattered, we're going to learn new religions, and we're going to learn to serve other gods. Now it's going to give you clues to who these gods are. Go ahead.
Even wood and stone.
Gods of wood and gods of stone. Okay? So when you think about the Christian cross, right? What is always made of? It's made of wood, right? And what about the stone? It's so funny. You grew up Christianity, right? You grew up, you went. But your family was Christians, right? Christianity. Okay, yes sir. And then the stone is going into the cobblestone, which is talking about Islam. It said you would go into the two biggest religions on the earth, Christianity and Islam. Okay? Now a lot of people don't know it, but they forced Christianity on us. We already had the Bible and the laws of God, but they forced a new doctrine. Christianity, Sunday worship, birthdays, Mother's Day, Father's Day. That's all Christianity. That ain't right. That ain't Bible. Okay. No. We Christians, meaning followers of Christ, but we don't follow Christianity, the doctrine. We follow Christ because Christ kept the laws. We keep the laws. Okay? Now, the other one, Islam, okay, before the what is that called? When they came over, they forced the Christianity. With the Jesuit priests and all of that. The Inquisition. So before that, before they forced the Christianity on us through the Inquisition and all that, we had what was called the sub-Saharan slave trade. That's when the Arabs took us into slavery. Before we came over, that slave trade was before 1619, before the transatlantic slave trade was the sub-Saharan slave trade. Before the sub-Saharan slave trade was called something called the Silk Road slave trade. Where the Chinese had, a lot of people don't know, Israelite slave labor also built the Great Wall of China. Every nation has profited off us and had us in slavery. Every nation, all over the earth. That's why he said, I'm going to scatter you into all nations. In all those nations, they did the same stuff to us. They made us build up their societies. Okay? But during the sub-Saharan slave trade, that's when we started to learn Islam. That's when we became Muslims. Okay? Now watch this, jump down to 68. So let me ask you this last question concerning the curses. How did our people get from Africa to America? Boats. You know that's in the Bible? You know that's in the Bible. Now, after we read this, you ought to know that who is the Israelites and who is these curses talking about?
What?
It's talking about us, Charles. It's talking about us. Watch this. Verse 68.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Now remember, we was in Egypt the first time. We were slaves, right? Now the Bible is going to show you what Egypt means. Egypt is a landmass, but Egypt also has another definition. Watch this.
Exodus chapter 20 verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt.
Now I was going to tell you what Egypt means.
Out of the house of bondage.
So Egypt was known as the house of bondage. Okay, so Egypt means bondage or servitude or slavery. Okay, go back.
Deuteronomy 28 verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
So he's going to bring us, I think we never went back into Egypt, the landmass. He said, but I'm going to bring you into Egypt, meaning slavery or bondage again. How?
With ships.
How?
With ships.
That's Deuteronomy 28:68. These the curses. He said, I'm going to bring you into slavery again on ships. Nobody on the face of the earth can say that happened to them except the Israelites. Okay? And what's going to happen when we get there?
By the way whereof I spake unto thee.
He said, I'm going to bring you into slavery, just how Moses told you is going to happen. That's what it says, whereby on the way I spake unto thee, meaning just how Moses just told us it was going to happen. That's how it happened. Didn't all those things happen? All those things that Moses just prophesied. Think about it. We being cursed in the city, cursed in the field. Our names being changed. Our sons and daughters given to other people. Us going into Christianity and Islam. Us coming over here on slave ships. He said, just like I told you all those things was going to happen, that's how it's going to happen. That's how it happened. This prophecy is now all of our history. That's how we know it's talking about us. Read.
Thou shalt see it no more again.
He said, you're not going to see your homeland of Israel no more again. We ain't been back to Israel as a nation of people. We ain't been back. Okay, we still scattered in all those lands where we was sent to as the punishment. Go ahead.
And
there, when you get off them slave ships, what's going to happen?
Ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
Auction slave blocks. Sold unto your enemies. Didn't that happen? 25, 35, 45. Sold to Master Charles in Virginia. That was us on them slave blocks. Isn't that what the Bible just said? This man, let me tell you something. He never read nothing like this. This book is undefeated. You just got to have somebody to show you and bring it out the proper way. Not Sunday, not Jesus. That ain't, you ain't learning nothing up in there. I was in there. Trust me, I know I was in there a long time. Okay? I felt left feeling good on Sunday. Ain't learned a damn thing. Ain't learned nothing. Went right outside, fired up a cigarette. Got home, rolled up a J. Okay? That's what we did.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.